ring the bell, because they know that even as it says, ring the bell, ring the alarm in Zion, and wake up my people, you know. And then you see how she's in the dress, because as it's written, you know, Christ will be in his robe. So that's why they got to have Lucia in the dress, you know. See, they got your name, they got your address, because they already know the time is coming. It's actually on the movie Smile 2. I should have put that in here, but Smile 2, on the movie Smile 2, you got Lewis, and that's what the dude was saying, you know, I got his address, I got him, you know, I got his address and everything. And on the movie, Lewis beat himself to death for the weight, because, you know, as it's written, you know, how Christ bear our sins. So basically what they saying, okay, if you say who you say you are, they carry the weight of the world, then, you know, we going to keep you hidden. How you going to overcome this? We run this world, you know, it's going to be your alternate, you're not going to fulfill your mission. You will just be unknown as a man that just die and be put in the grave in Babylon. That's their imagination. But, you know, that's what they do. They already know he's being revealed, the name and address. So people learning that he's in America, and that his name has been revealed, Carol Lewis Williams II, as I've been showing on my channel. That's why you got the helicopter shining the light on Lucia, because the helicopter just held the law of Satan, trying to flash his light and, you know, and make sure you can't get out his light, his deception, and keep trying to throw people behind that mason jar, behind the jail bars. See how Lucia is climbing the ladder, because Christ ascends and does sins. He's the way and the truth and the light, the way to heaven and to earth.
They got your name, address, they got everything. Us cops,
we got to protect each other. So us cops, we got to protect each other. We the people, we the Masons, you know what I'm saying? So that's what all that's showing right there. And then you see how Lucia got to be on the plane. Look.
We got it.
See how Lucia's on the plane. You see? Everything's coming together. You know, look at right here, they got to have a plane. Right behind Josh's son, Jason. You see? All coming together. And that's why I was dealing with that, the 6, because that goes into the 6, the GTA 6. 6 deals with the flesh, you know. The Messiah is in flesh. That's why you got the names like Carla, because La is just Lewis, Louisiana abbreviation that just goes into the Louisiana, Lewis. So L.A. That's why in Hollywood they got to have an L.A. because they the false Lewis. You know, when a Mason, once they hit the level of mark degree, a level 11 of 33 degrees, they become a false Lewis, you know. It's important to know these things, man. There's no way around none of it. So that's why they got that term. That's why they got that term La La Land, because it just really goes into the land of God, Lewis. You kind of see what I mean? Jerusalem, Lewis, Israel. So that's why they got La La Land. You know, they like, welcome to La La Land. You know, it's all in our face. It's all about knowing how to operate and what these devils do. And then, you know, that's why you had La La Anthony. Remember La La Anthony was with Carmelo. La La and Car again. You remember that R. Kelly had that song, When a Woman's Fed Up, where he said, just standing here looking in the mirror, you know, I should have known the day would come that she'll find somebody else. But they already know they don't want nobody to know who the Messiah is, and Satan want to just keep on fooling the bride, which is the kingdom of heaven, which is the saints of God. So that's why after he said all of that, that he going to la 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 la, and he's looking in the mirror, because looking in the mirror is serious. You know, in 1 Corinthians 13:12, as it's written, let's read it right quick.